Hey everybody, good morning, happy Thursday. Welcome to the Thursday Throwdown. It's about a bazillion degrees out here in the South right now, but I needed some major fresh air, so I'm gonna do a quick one from the porch today before I melt. But I'm really excited to talk to you today about kind of a big reveal about someone who's been lying to you for many, many years that you've been listening to. I know for a fact you've been listening to, possibly for your whole life. I want to reveal who that is, and I want to talk to you about how to change it. If this is your first time watching, welcome! Excited to have you. My name is Kelly Ruta. I am a former psychotherapist of a gazillion years, like 20 years, turned transformational coach and speaker, and hopefully soon to be author. And that's where this whole conversation from today is coming from. I was interviewed on a really cool podcast yesterday by Susan Hyatt, who is a very successful life coach. And she's got a great podcast called, I believe it's called the Rich Coaches Podcast. We were having this whole conversation about living what she calls the rich life, which is just every form of abundance that is possible. So, I kind of referred to this as living your best life, or living what is right now maybe your unlived life, the life you dream of, but is not the one you necessarily have. So the relationships that you want, the bank account that you want, the business or career or work that you want, the health and wellness that you want, just the general abundance that you want. And I think most people who kind of see the title of today are going to tune in and think that I'm going to sit here and tell you that the liar is culture, that the liar is religion, that the liar is politics, that the liar, they were your parents, that the liar is the patriarchy. And all of those things are true, by the way. All of those things have told us and taught us really untrue things. But that's not what I'm here to reveal to you today. As a matter of fact, one of the things that came out of our conversation yesterday was this very point, because my book is entitled Build Your Brave, and it is all about kind of dismantling the paradigm of fearlessness and encouraging women and men too to build your brave instead of trying to be fearless, because fearlessness is just bullshit anyway. So here's what we got down to yesterday when we were talking. One of the things that we got down to is that the biggest liar in your life, and I know this for a fact, and I don't care where you're tuning in from. I don't care if it's from across the world. I don't care what gender you are. I don't care about your race. I don't care about your political affiliation. I don't care about whether you're religious or spiritual or an atheist. This is true across the board. The biggest liar in your life is your ego. Your ego is that inner voice that is critical of you, that creates self-doubt, that creates overwhelm and fear and anxiety, that feeds your limiting beliefs that have probably been with you for, I don't know, a gazillion years at this point. And it will lie to you every single day. And up until maybe now or recently, you've believed all the lies. You've believed all the fear stories. You've believed all the limiting beliefs. You've believed all the things that have told you you can't, or you're not allowed, or you shouldn't, or you don't deserve it, or it's too dangerous. And your inner being is not feeding you those stories. The liar is your ego. It always has been, and it always will be. And the reason why is because your ego is interested in one thing: keeping you in a nice, neat, controlled, no such thing, by the way, little box where risk is really not something that you take, so you don't really have to be brave, so that you don't expand, so that you don't grow, so that you don't evolve. Because your ego would much rather you be miserable and safe than be taking risks and being uncomfortable and growing and stretching and enduring those growing pains to step into creating a life, a business, a career, a relationship, a bank account, health and wellness, your body of your dreams. So your ego will lie to you every single day about what you can and cannot do, what you should and should not do, what you deserve and do not deserve, how worthy you are, which by the way, it's going to tell you you're not, how deserving you are, which it's going to tell you you're not, how special you are, which is going to tell you you're not. And it's going to list all of the reasons why the dream life, the dream health, the dream relationship, the dream bank account is not possible for you, or that you don't deserve it. And one of the ways out is to begin to become extremely self-aware of the voice of your ego and the voice of what I refer to as your inner being. You'll hear lots of different people in this space call it different things. The voice of your inner self, your source, your of God, of the universe, of spirit, the divine. I don't care what you call it. But your ego will always steer you towards your fear stories. And your inner being will say, yes, be afraid, do it anyway. Your inner being will always call you forward to do things that feel risky and to do things that sometimes don't work out, because the lesson in it not working out is what is most beneficial for you. But we have been trained by culture, by family, by religion, by politics, by the patriarchy, by a million things, to listen to the ego voice instead of to listen to the inner being. And that is the biggest liar in your life. And things will begin to change for you if and when you start calling a spade a spade. If and when you start calling a liar a liar. And not from a place of hate, and not from a place of judgment, not from a place of being argumentative, but from a place of discernment and wisdom. Knowing that the ego is not interested in you growing into your vision or growing into your dreams, because it means you will have to step out of your current experience, your current normal, your current programming, your current conscious thinking, your current set of triggers, your current set of habits. You will have to step outside of all of that from a place of bravery and do things differently. You will have to think differently. You will have to reprogram your mind differently. You will have to rewrite your fear stories, and you will have to start creating new action being habits. And yeah, that sounds hard. Sometimes it is, but it's easier than you think. When it's impossible, though, is when you are not self-aware of the voice of your ego versus the voice of your inner being. And that requires space and quiet and tuning in and listening and understanding the difference between the ego and your inner being, because those two will always be at odds. The ego is about stay put, stay safe, stay same. And the inner being is about stretch, grow, take risks, expand, explore, evolve, change. And that requires you tolerating and getting really comfortable with being really uncomfortable. And if that's not work you're willing to do, then you will, day after day after day, create the same that you had the day before, the month before, the year before, the decade before. It's tragic to me that most people are thinking the same thoughts today that they thought yesterday and last week and last month, and they're getting the same exact results. So their dreams are still dreams instead of reality. Their bank account looks the same. Their body looks the same. Their relationships look the same. Their businesses look the same. Their bullshit looks the same. So you start creating this change from a place of self-awareness about the voice of your ego and the voice of your inner being, and which one is telling you the truth and which one will always guide you towards what's best for you. Doesn't mean your inner being's going to guide you to things being, rainbows and unicorns. Let's be realistic. You're going to be guided towards some things that are challenging and that may feel really uncomfortable, but it's for your own good. And that is a belief that will serve you very well to program if you don't currently have it. So you may be asking, how the hell do I do that? I don't know how to do that. I got you. So in the next week or so, you're going to start seeing signups for I usually do it twice a year, free 5-day challenge called Blow Up Your Bullshit. And this is what it is all about: becoming self-aware and then changing what you need to change so that you can live the life you dream of instead of it just existing in your dreams. Because how freaking frustrating is that already? Good God, you've been dreaming forever. And we were put here to live an abundant life, to have abundant experiences. So if you're currently operating from fear stories, from subconscious programming, which is also known as your limiting beliefs, and from habits and actions that don't serve you, please stay tuned. You're going to start seeing Facebook ads and Instagram ads and posts here and posts in my group and emails. Come into the free 5-day challenge and let's start to do this work together. And then I'm going to invite you into a brand new, oh my God, I am so excited, 8-week online program where you can intentionally and purposefully learn how to rewrite your fear stories, reprogram your subconscious mind, and take back your personal power. I talked to somebody 2 days ago about this program on the phone, and when I described it to her, she was so excited. She was like, well, I know it's not ready to go, but can I just buy it now? Yes, you can. And within 24 hours, interestingly, 5 new clients, 5 new leads. So it was, woo! It was super exciting for me and for her. Anyway, stay tuned because the 5-day challenge is coming. It changes people's lives. It is a zero fluff zone. I run it a couple times every year, and people tell me every single time, oh my God, you should be charging for this. There is no other online challenge that exists like this. So stay tuned. If you don't already click to follow this channel, click it now and follow and make sure, because after the challenge, there's going to be early bird bonuses and there's only going to be a handful of them. So if you're a fast action taker and you want to get the most out of this, you want the heads up. All right, my friends, I'm going to send you off into the rest of your day with much love and the lesson that the biggest liar that is steering you off course is the voice of your ego. And if you don't begin to discern between the voice of your ego and the voice of your inner being, you're going to play out the same thing you played out yesterday, last week, last month, and 10 years ago for 10 more years to come. If you're not okay with that, stay tuned because I'm going to teach you how to change that. All right, everybody, have a wonderful day.